Hello, I'm Laura. It's Monday, April 13th, 2026, and these are today's Heartlines. Our theme for Heartlines this week is New Horizons. And today we are looking at new horizons of learning, specifically as it applies to learning the truth. Now, I'm focusing on this, and in fact, I'm going to keep this up for a while and invite you to share it with your friends because the truth I am sharing today is very important. Something really called to my heart this past week in our headlines that needs to be said. In our headlines, we saw that the state of Texas is considering putting Bible stories into its required curriculum in public schools, kindergarten through 12th grade. And we know that the Ten Commandments are already required to be shown in these schools. Well, this calls to my heart because you may not know this about me, but I have been a teacher of Bible literature, history, and interpretation for more than 40 years. And as such, I have gone deep into understanding the Bible and its literature and its history. And in so doing, I can honestly say that doing this in the state of Texas might actually be harmful to the good that the Bible can do in people's lives. A mother in the state of Texas actually said, as a Christian mother, it is my right and responsibility to teach our family's religion. It is not the state's job to shed through the lens of a teacher who may not share the same beliefs I do. Will Bible passages be taught in conflict with my beliefs? So actually doing this opens up a Pandora's box of conflict and controversy around the Bible versus deepening our understanding of it and its real effect on our society. Now, in contrast, a pastor in Texas has said, investing truth into our children is the most loving thing that we can do for them. This is the truth, he says. This country and this state were founded upon a Christian worldview. Like it or not, it is true. Well, with all due respect to this pastor and the beliefs that work for him, it is not true that our country was founded upon a Christian worldview. In fact, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, and James Madison, among others, were deists who believed in the separation of church and state. It was found that religious dogma should remain separate from public policy, according to our founding fathers from all perspectives and beliefs, to prevent state-sanctioned religion. And how do we know this? Well, there's a little document called the Constitution that might work well in the United States classrooms. And it opens its First Amendment by saying, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. And as long as we're into truth, regarding the book of Jonah, the truth about the book is that it is not a book of factual history, but a metaphorical commentary on the nature of prophecy. In fact, the writers of a wonderful little book called A Beginner's Guide to the Books of the Bible said, and it's Diane Jacobson and Robert Kaiser, they said, the book of Jonah explores issues of the nature of prophecy, the problems of nationalism, and the freedom of God. Jonah represents a nationalistic prophet with a narrow view of God's judgment and grace. He believed that the Lord would protect and care for him and the people of Israel by virtue of their being chosen. Instead, God is shown to have the freedom to judge or to have mercy upon whomever God chooses. You see, it's a book about a prophet who got upset when God did not destroy a group of foreign people, and God scolds him for his righteous indignation. So knowing the truth of Jonah, even in that book, we are told of the necessity to be free of a sense of nationalism that excludes people and indoctrinates people with our own specific point of view. And to be free of this, we need to have an open mind and heart to learning everything we can about anything we love, the Bible, each other, our world, what's going on in our world. And when we do this, even to the extent that we can, we actually find a greater sense of grace and peace and forgiveness, just as the people of Nineveh did in the book of Jonah. So we're going to open ourselves up to that learning and that knowing of what is true for us by taking a deep breath, closing our eyes, and going into a time of silent contemplation with this thought. I am open to new horizons for learning the truth about myself and others. I am open to new horizons for learning the truth about myself and others. And so it is. So when we learn the truth, it does open up new horizons. But we need to remember that indoctrinated spirituality is not authentic spirituality. It is like seeing a rose and not taking in its fragrance or being careful of its thorns. So let's seek the truth in the things and the people we love and keep our hearts open to the wonderful things along the way. Let's stop and smell the roses. Thank you for joining me today, and have a wonderful day.